Good afternoon, class. I am teacher James Russo A. Taga. This afternoon, we'll be talking about politics and governance. But before we proceed to our new lesson for this afternoon, I would like to ask any insights from you regarding our previous lesson. Now, are there any volunteers from the class who would like to share? Volunteers from the class. Okay, Mel J, do you have any insights to share? Okay, that's correct. Yes, you've learned last time that people are zoon politikon, or political animals. That's correct. We are political animals because we associate ourselves with each other and we find agreements when we group ourselves together, right? Now, this afternoon, we'll be having a new lesson, yet very related to our previous lessons. Are you excited to know about it? Okay, very good. That's very nice. Now, for the activity that we'll be doing this afternoon, I would like to group the class into 6 groups. Is it okay with you? Okay, now I'll group you into 6 groups. I'll start counting and your number would represent your group. Let's begin in this side. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, also, okay, all number 1, please move to this area. Number 2, number 3, 4, 5, and 6. Very good. Now, for 30 seconds, I would like you to choose a leader and a secretary in your group. Just do it real quick. Okay, your 30 seconds starts now. Okay, has each group found a leader and a secretary? Okay, very good. Now, the activity that we'll be doing this afternoon is about concept mapping. Now, does anyone from the class know what's a concept map? Does anyone from the class? No. Okay. A concept map is we need to identify one main concept. This would be, the main concept will be placed at the middle, and then we will also find other sub-concepts that would substantiate the main concept that we are talking about. Okay, are there any questions regarding how to do the concept mapping? Okay, none so far. Now, I'd like to give materials to each group. So each group shall be given 1 cartolina, and I told you last meeting to bring your own marker. So I presume that each of the group has all their own markers. Okay? Okay, very good. Okay, you get 1 cartolina for your group. Now, you already have your materials, you already know how to do the concept mapping. But there is one last step that we need to undergo. You need to pick your word or your concept from this box. Now, I'd like each group leaders to step forward and pick the magic word from the box. Okay? 1 for you. 1, 1, 1, and all set. Very good. Now, in each group, you already have your word or the concept that you are going to elaborate. So for group 1, you have the word, okay, state. Group 2, nation. Group 3, people or population. Group 4, you have territory. Group 5, okay, government. And group 6, sovereignty. Okay, very good. You already have your words to expound. Now, I'll give 10 minutes for each group. You discuss it thoroughly. I told you last time to bring your smartphones, your laptops, and computers. You need to browse the internet, surf it, and you need to dig what are the underlying key concepts to further explain the words that you have right now. I want you to cooperate with your group mates. I want that there is an effective communication among all of you so that you can arrive to the desired outcome of your group. So would that be okay? Okay, very good. Now, your 10 minutes starts now. Okay, all groups are already done with their output from group 1 to 6. Now, we will be proceeding to the most exciting part of our activity, which is each group will share their output to the class. Now, each group will be given 2 minutes to share their insights and their learnings from the groupings. Now, remember, when somebody is listening in the front, you need to attentively listen. And if possible, you need to take down notes in order not to forget anything from the people sharing in the front. Is it understood? Okay, very good. Now, I'll just be staying here in the corner and I'll be listening to all of your sharing. Bravo, bravo. Each group has really done their best in presenting their output. I was really amazed that you really put your effort in discussing and putting all these concepts here. But I would like to add something from all your output. Now let's begin at the stage. Now, to encapsulate the idea, a state consists of 4 elements. Now it has people, territory, government, and sovereignty. Now a state is a political concept. Now, if any of the 4 elements is missing, a state ceases to exist. Always remember that. Now a nation. Nation is an ethnic concept that where they are united by common descent and language. That's a nation. It is basically more on the racial and the cultural aspect of the people. Now, here people / population. Now we have 3 kinds of people. We have the natural born, naturalized, and juridical. Now, natural born are, for example, Filipino parents, their children would be automatically natural born Filipino citizen. Now for naturalized, they are not Filipino citizen, but were granted citizenship by the law. For example, foreigners, they wanted to become Filipino citizens, they are considered as naturalized individuals. Now for juridical, these are not people actually, but granted personage by the law. For example, Gaisano, Robinsons, and our school. This is an entity. They are not people, but they are granted personage by the law. Now, territory. Now, territory, it has 3 domains. The terrestrial, maritime, and aerial domain. Now, the terrestrial domain, always remember, this is the land that the people or the populace is occupying. Now, the maritime domain are the waters that our state occupies. Now, the aerial domain, this is the airspace above the maritime and the terrestrial domain. So, any intrusion to our airspace is considered to be illegal. Now, let's go to the government. Now, the government, there are so many types of government actually. No, I am so impressed that you have placed so many types of government here. For example, you placed indirect democracy, direct democracy, constitutional monarchy, absolute monarchy, aristocracy, federal government, and unitary. All of these things are correct. And you really did your research, and I was so impressed in how you really expounded all the concepts here. But I would just like to clarify each concept. Let's begin on indirect democracy. For indirect democracy, now people elect representatives to represent them in the Congress. Direct democracy, people are directly involved in the laws. They vote for it, for changes. Now, constitutional monarchy. This is a type of government where the powers of the monarch is limited by the constitution. Now, only the monarchs only do ministrant functions. Now, absolute monarchy. Absolute monarchy, the powers of the monarch are absolute. He is the one who makes law and executes the law. Now, aristocracy, a government that, what? A government that is ruled by the elites. Federal government. Now, federal government, there is one federal government, and there are other autonomous states that will only contribute to the federal government. Unitary government. What are unitary government? It is centralized from the president down to the lower constituents. Now, our country, Philippines, we are having a unitary form of government. Now, are there any questions? Now, let's proceed to sovereignty. Now, sovereignty, we have two types of sovereignty, the internal and the external sovereignty. Now, internal sovereignty, this is the power of the state to rule over its people. Now, the external sovereignty is the power of the state to be free from external control. Now, these are the 6 concepts that what you discussed in your groups. I was so amazed. It was really good on how you discussed the state, the nation, the people, territory, government, and sovereignty. Now, to wrap it up, again, state is a political concept which consists of 4 elements: the people, territory, government, and sovereignty. Nation, it is an ethnic concept, and it is more inclined on racial and cultural aspects. The people or population has 3 types: the natural born, naturalized, and juridical. Now, for territory, we have the terrestrial domain, maritime domain, and aerial domain. And for the government, we have so many types of government: indirect democracy, direct democracy, constitutional monarchy, absolute monarchy, aristocracy, federal government, and unitary. Now, for sovereignty, we have the internal and external sovereignty. Now, do you have any questions regarding our discussion? None so far. Okay. We're proceeding to our last activity for this afternoon. Now, we'll be utilizing the same groupings that you have had in the previous activity. What we're going to do is, you need to creatively express the idea or the concept of nation and state through collage, posters, songs, poems, and etc. I'll be giving you rubrics so that you have a guide on what are the things that you're going to do. Now, you will be submitting your output on the next session. Would that be okay for you? Okay, very good. Now, I am expecting that you'll be doing your best since you have exerted so much effort, knowledge, and creativity on your first activity. Thank you so much. Okay, everybody stand up. If there are no questions, class is dismissed. Goodbye, everyone.